Ooh, hi. Hello. So today I thought let me do a video to talk about spirituality and also to talk about crystals. Look, I've got loads of crystals here and their connection with spirituality and ascension possibly. So it is a very huge topic. So I'm going just to try and talk about my experience with spirituality, with ascension, and see maybe how that might be able to, hopefully it can inspire someone can learn from it, and it can inspire a conversation that is productive. So I would say 9 months or 10 months or a year ago, I didn't know a lot about spirituality. I didn't know much actually about spirituality. I was as ignorant as most people about what is spirituality, even though I grew up in a background of religion. I grew up in a Christian environment, you know, going to church as a small boy, going to a Christian school, but religion or going to church, religion and spirituality are not always the same thing. This is something that I really learned in the last 9 or 10 months. I have been trying to read around a lot of books, connect with a lot of people, try and learn about spirituality. So where do we start? I think the starting point to what is spirituality is to appreciate that you or me, look at me, this is my body, my physical body. Yes, before many people think that this is me or this is you, your physical body. But very few people, including me, like, a couple of years ago or a few months ago, I didn't appreciate the presence of the soul. So there is something called the soul. Though, in religion, you learn a little bit about the soul, but going into the depth, the scientific part of the existence of the soul is something that still the mainstream, human science hasn't appreciated or comprehended. So from a lot of studies I have gathered and a lot of teachings I have attended online and reading books in the last 9 months, the soul, of course, it has got a religious explanation, or we can say a spiritual explanation, but it also has got a scientific explanation that this body that we have is not really me. It is part of my mission now that I am in this body, but the real me is my soul, the person who is inside me, that has been around for thousands and thousands of years, that have lived on this planet for many lifetimes, died, reincarnated, came back to live another life, and has also lived in many other realms, possibly many other planets and even other galaxies. That's your soul. Is that interdimensional, intergalactic being. So your soul, in terms of cosmic science or the science of your soul, is that it is made up of light particles or electromagnetic energy or electromagnetic radiation. So this electromagnetic radiation that makes up your soul is made of some pockets of lights, of which in spiritual world they are called chakras. So the chakras that are commonly described on your soul as part of your soul, they describe 7 chakras. So there is the crown chakra, that is just on top of the head, or sometimes refers to as your soul star, the crown chakra. Then here, if you have heard people talking of your third eye in spirituality, there's something called the third eye chakra. Then here, there is something called the throat chakra that is connected to the physiological body, is connected to your thyroid gland, your pituitary, and also the third eye chakra is also connected to your pineal gland. That is the physiological correspondence of it. Then you've got your heart chakra. That is the most popular one because you know, people, for example, if they are stressed or they are getting a heartbreak, they often say, my heart is in pain. They are referring to the ball of light, ball of electromagnetic energy that is behind your physical heart, called the heart chakra. Then down here, there is something called the solar plexus chakra. Then down here, there is something called the pelvic chakra. Then in the perineum, there is the root chakra. So these are the 7 chakras that make up your soul. That, like we described, the thousands and thousands of years old person or a being inside me and you that is the real you. Right, so basically you could say that your soul is immortal. Your soul is an infinite being because it lives forever and ever and ever. You just, if your body dies, your soul goes back to the creator. Then decisions are made if you're going to come back again on earth to learn certain missions or certain lessons that you need to learn, or you can go to other planets, or you can go to other universities of learning in the universe or in the galaxy, in the creator's world. But how does your soul come into play, for example, in this lifetime? So your soul, those chakras that we described, when you were created, during creation, they were properly aligned. They were properly aligned, properly shining, and all that. But as humanity, what disintegrated, as we disintegrated to go down the densities, or what my mentors describe as a fall in density, as humanity sank into density, because we were created on the higher realms, in the higher densities. Then because of the fall that is described, for example, in the Bible, how Adam and Eve came down, as the downfall of Adam and Eve is a long story anyway, but that made us, to disintegrate to this third dimension. Otherwise, we were created in the 12th, 10th, 12th dimension, and our original DNA had 12 strands of DNA, 12 strands. But now, after that disintegration into the down from the 10th dimension to the 10th, 12th dimension to the third dimension, our DNA disintegrated to only hold 2 strands that most people have now on this earth. So our chakras, or the soul, it correspondingly, those balls of light, they shrank down, and there was a disconnection between the other parts of yourself and your soul. For example, there was a disconnection between the body and the soul, though they are still together, but that connection that was there on higher realms is no longer there. So what Ascension is all about, or the reason many of us are here on earth, is to try and align back, those DNA back to our 12 strand DNA. So now that many people in this lifetime, they've got only 2 strands that are active, but the other part of the 12 strands are what our mainstream science referred to as junk DNA. It is still in our bodies as what is called junk DNA, but it can be activated so that we ascend back to these 12 strands DNA. This is what is referred in some religious books, for example, the Bible, as rapture or ascension or the return of Christ, meaning the return of the Christ consciousness, that return to this 12 strand DNA. So in this lifetime that we are living, that's another big topic again. There is something called the stellar activation cycle that has been happening and still happening, in which the planets around they align in such a way that light is emitted that allow that junk DNA to regenerate into these 12 strands DNA, which is what is called ascension, or going to heaven, or going to higher dimensions, going back to this truth. So in this lifetime, we would be expected to go from the 3rd dimension to the 5th dimension. And you can even go higher depending on how your DNA has been prepared, how long we have been preparing, and if there are any damages or not. So how do we align our chakras so that it allows the DNA to regenerate back to the original Adamic 12-strand DNA? Okay, so there are many methods. There cannot be one method. There are spiritual methods, scientific methods, but it all comes down to, there are many methods. The other common one that I was taught by my mentors is what is called the breath of life. There are some patterns of breathing that you do. Of course, air that we know in science, it contains oxygen, nitrogen, 21% oxygen. It's going low actually. Nitrogen and some other rare particle. But in cosmic science or in spiritual science, it also contains what are called adamantine light particles of the creator light that created our souls. It's also in the air. So if you breathe in and out, you are breathing in those adamantine particles that can come in and help to activate, align your chakras. So this is part of the meditation and the breathing. There are some techniques that you need to do, like just a short time a day, and it can help to align that electromagnetic energy of your soul and your chakras, and then it can make your DNA regenerate. Of course, there are also other factors involved. So the other topic that is important in that area of ascension or meditation, breathing in and out to realign your chakra, there is something called the vibrations. So you need also to raise your vibrational frequencies, the way your chakras are vibrating, and so that the alignment can be possible or done in a quicker manner. So there are many ways in which vibrational frequencies can be raised. They were originally higher during our 12-strand DNA time, but then as we sank down into density, to the 3rd density, our vibration has been quite low as well. So there are many other ways in which you can raise your vibrational frequency, being in a good mood, and also diet control, because it is believed that the foodstuffs that we are consuming on this planet is also damaging our DNA strand, and our ability to regenerate it and align our chakras. So dietary management, and it is also believed that many of the pharmaceuticals, the medication that we consume, many of them are also responsible for lowering our vibrational frequencies and even damaging our DNA, our 12-strand DNA templates, and there are also a lot of other things that you need to look out for. But basically, meditation, using the techniques that can repair that electromagnetic energy of your soul, or what is called your auric field, and align your chakras. It's a big topic. It's hard to summarize it but basically this is what this whole thing is all about. So how do crystals? So I learned you say I've got lots of crystals here, and believe me, they've played lots of magic for me. Lots of crystals, these crystals. You see, these are just stones, but crystals. These crystals, you see, let me give you an example of this clear quartz crystal. It is known in the whole universe as the highest concentration of matter. So there are different colors. They are dark. You can have this rose quartz. This is a rose quartz crystal. You can have, this is a different one. This is a dragon crystal. This is another dragon crystals. This is amethyst. They are stones. But so there is a story about these crystals that I was taught by my mentors that I could also share. That long time, millions and billions of years ago, when this earth was being created, the gods or the creators who created this earth, they planted, these big, especially the quartz crystals. They planted the big quartz crystals from the deep down into the core of the earth, going up in the sky. And these clear quartz crystals, it allowed them to communicate with the earth, even if they had gone back to their original universes or galaxies or planet. Because of these crystals, they have always managed to communicate with the earth. But over many years, there have been a lot of catalytic events that has happened on this earth, that is commonly described in the Bible, for example, as the deluge, the flood of Noah. And it is said that such kind of those kind of deluge, or the destruction of the earth for one reason or the other, has happened much many times than we know. Because the flood of Noah is just an example, but it has happened up to 7 times, the destruction of the earth by floods, by tectonic movements and those things. So that damage, these big pillars of crystals that stem. So many of them, they get broken. Many of them, they are now under the ocean. Many of them under the soil. And these are some of the crystals that are being mined by miners now who are mining crystals. They are retrieving these old, crystals that were installed by our creators, these communication tools. And these crystals, they are billions and millions of years old, and they still have got that quality that they can communicate. They've got the highest concentration of matter. They can communicate with our creators, with extraterrestrial beings, angels and stuff. So you can still use them for that purpose if your body, your chakras, they correspond with those frequencies. So that's how this can come into meditation. You can meditate without crystals, but if you include them, they can play magic. Trust me, they have done real magic that even if I try to explain to you, you will not believe me. But they have done a lot of magic for me. So they can improve your alignment of chakras. They can improve your meditation. They can raise your vibrational frequency. You can even communicate with interdimensional beings. You call them angels, goes with this crystals. They clear up your electromagnetic energies around, to clean them up, to help to restore the distortions, that exists in your auric field. And they also say that they can, protect you from the damage caused by mobile phones, by our TVs, and these radiations that are happening. So it's a good thing. They're a bit expensive. Mine, you can see that I've got lots of crystals here. These are chakra crystals. These are all stones, of which there are different colors of stones. They align different chakras. This again, you see, chakra crystal. There are a lot of some small stones here. They align the chakras. These are different kind of crystals. This is amethyst crystals. This is amethyst. It got broken actually. It was a huge crystals. So this is an amethyst. This is amethyst crystals. We talked about clear quartz. They all do slightly different things. That's why actually I need more crystals. And this is the dark or the black crystals. They are known to be more protective from bad energies and stuff. This is a spherical crystals, but it's still it's just like this one. This is a rose quartz. So these are the clear quartz. These are the most. I love this. They've done a lot for me. Clear quartz. See, this is clear quartz. So this is the dragon crystal. I was a bit scared of this when I bought it. Dragons were usually associated with evil and so forth. So this is a Chinese dragon. Look at that. It's so powerful. When I put it, I was like, oh no, this thing. They come from quite a long way. They come from the United States. So like if I order them, they take almost a month to arrive here. So like every time it arrives, I always say, a lot of anticipation. So when this one arrived, I was like, this is not what I wanted. I was a bit scared to use it. But then after some time I used it. Oh my God, it had some of the most powerful effect on my chakras. That's a Chinese dragon crystal. Look at that. So this is a serpent crystal. It's quite scary. So because if you think of a serpent dragon, you think of snakes, evil things, satanic and so forth. But not all dragons or not all serpents dragons are supposed to be satanic. So it's also quite good, through meditation. I've also got these small crystals. Small crystals. They're just same, they're just small. So I've got loads of crystals, some of them, but I actually need more, like I said, because they've made massive difference to my spirituality. Anyway, I didn't want this to get this long. So we will stop here today. Hopefully someone's going to listen to this and learn something. If you've got any questions, we can discuss, and I will say what I know, because this whole thing is a big topic. It took me months and months and months of being tutored, being mentored, reading books, online lectures to appreciate all these things. But interesting stuff. Anyway, we stop here for today. Thank you.